This week's project is going to be a little lame, kind of simple, but I will have a few nuggets of advice. So as some background, I've been working from home for a few months, and the finish on my table here is starting to wear out from my hand and from the mouse. It doesn't look that bad, but it's starting to feel really kind of gross, especially when it gets kind of muggy and my hand doesn't want to slide around the table as I'm using the mouse. So I need a desk pad, kind of like a giant mouse pad. You can get them on Amazon for relatively cheap, but why not make one? Now, I thought about getting a piece of leather and putting a piece of cloth on top of it or underneath it, and I wasn't quite sure how that should go. When it occurred to me that maybe I can just cut a piece of this. Now, I have no idea why I have this piece of leather. It's the wrong type of leather to cut into lace to braid into handheld sonic boom manipulation devices. And it's the wrong kind of leather for making a sheath or a holster. And those are the only two things I do with leather. So I don't know why I have this, but a piece of leather I have no use for makes it a perfect component of a desk pad. Now, it's also kind of a suede material, so I really don't need any fabric on top. And I was concerned about dye from the leather leaching onto the table. The thing is, this has relatively little amounts of dye in it, and it's about almost exactly the same color as the table. So I don't think I need anything other than to cut a piece of this leather. All right, it's a new project, which means I can get a brand new sharp part of the blade. Very exciting. So blade goes in my razor bank. So this is just a can. I think it was a can of broth. Poked a hole in it with a knife. Poured out the broth, rinsed it out. Forget how I dried it. Maybe in the toaster oven, I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been putting in a double-edged razor blade once a week in here for at least 10 years, and it's getting pretty full. But cans without a pull top are getting rarer, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to replace this when it finally fills up. I assume I can just dump this into metal recycling. I remember reading something a while back that said that was it's more complicated than that, but I tried looking that up today before I started filming, and everything said, yeah, just dump it in the recycling. So all right, now my bit of advice for cutting leather, or probably anything, never, ever, ever try to cut all the way through on your first stroke. Do it multiple times to just stay accurate. It's all about accuracy, not power. I'm one of the least patient people you will ever meet. So if I can do it, you can too. Okay. Pair of leather scissors from Tandy Leather Company. If you're on a budget, the shears that EMTs carry, they're like a couple of bucks a pop on Amazon. They're really cheap, and it will probably make short work of any leather. Now, I was originally going to try to make very clean 90-degree angles on this, but nothing on my desk is arranged rectilinearly, so there's really no point in that. So I think I'm just going to trim off the oddball bits and call it good. So there's the part that I haven't cut and the parts that I have, and they are noticeably different. If I decide later that that bugs me, then I'll go back over it with the scissors and trim off that. But I think for the moment, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, see what it looks like on the table. Very nice. See, it's not laying flat. I'm not sure what to do about that. You can't exactly iron a piece of leather. I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Let's see if it bugs me. Cool. Well, that's it for this week. Nice and easy.